I'm live. I don't know whether I should really wait for anybody who happens to see this. Don't have a lot of time, to be honest. Um, I know again the picture's not great. Still to invest. I'm gonna have to invest in a new webcam because the inbuilt one is rubbish. But the news, and I've got to be a little bit quiet because there's people sleeping. People sleeping up the stairs. It's very late UK time. 23 minutes past 23, so it's 23 minutes past 11 at night. WrestleMania has officially been moved to the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, I believe it is. It's certainly in Florida from Tampa Bay. WWE have made this announcement. I don't know whether I can get this clip up without actually going off live. I saw it on Pro Wrestling Sheet, but I've clipped it, well, snipped it. This is what it says on WWE.com. I saw it on Pro Wrestling Sheet. Then I went to WWE.com because some people, some of those sites, they hear rumors and put up as fact, but WWE.com has the following statement. In coordination with local partners and government officials, WrestleMania and all related events in Tampa Bay will not take place. However, WrestleMania will still stream live on Sunday, April 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the WWE Network and be available on pay per view. Only essential personnel will be on the closed set at the WWE's training facility in Orlando, Florida, to produce WrestleMania. So that's, again, hopefully you can hear me decently. What can you be keep the volume down? People upstairs sleeping, but that's a major, major change to WrestleMania, without a doubt. Then that's a huge. Do you do shout out Sean Kennedy? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't do. I'm going to try and keep this about half an hour because people upstairs sleeping, and I've got to get to bed. So I've got early start in the morning. But yeah, Sean Kennedy, thanks for watching, and anybody else that's watching. This is a huge, obviously, change. This is all due to the coronavirus. I did a live video the other, even yesterday, or the other day, talking about just basically generally the situation here in Scotland, which we're not on lockdown yet in the UK, but it could be heading that way. And obviously, this is all due to the coronavirus. The WWE and other ongoing related stuff like the travel bans. But this is a major, major change for WrestleMania, which means that the situation for WrestleMania may be very quite the same. I don't know what they're doing going forward. I assume they may be doing Raw and SmackDowns in the next couple of weeks, similar to what they did SmackDown. Um, but it'll be basically possibly be an empty arena event and in the performance center, so it is going to be dramatically different. Shout out to Eric and Jack Blakeman. Uh, Whoever they are, that's from Sean Kennedy. Um, that's good. This is a huge, huge change from wrestling. I know I'm kind of off. I'm off center here, but anyway. Um, Again, looking at me is not important. The important bit is the information. No problem, Sean. Yeah, this looks a bit better than the light. This is a major, major change for WrestleMania. It's never been done like that. So at least WrestleMania 36 is going to look unique, and it's still going ahead, which will be. I was going to say relief to some of the bars and clubs and everything, but whether they're going to actually be able to host any of the WrestleMania parties, I don't know. And that's a topic, and certainly here in the UK, I'll cover nearer the time. I don't know about any of the independent wrestling related events because there's a lot of, I don't know the exact legislation that's in place for America right now. Again, dry throat. Didn't expect to do a live video right now, but this is a huge, huge change, dramatic change for WrestleMania. Um, Mad Hawk 88. This is mental. Just push it back a few months. 7 hour show in an empty centre. Nay chance. Also, fellow Scotsman there. Yeah, I will say about this. Is a real unrelated topic, and I'll stop pointing. I know attend local pro wrestling events, and certainly, obviously, here in the UK and especially in Scotland, I didn't really talk about professional wrestling, but I did mention on the last video. But anyway, a lot of the companies Discovery Wrestling, based in Edinburgh, they've just made the announcement to this earlier today, to stop all events until this clears. Reckless Intent Wrestling are doing that. Um, Fair City Wrestling in Perth, they're trying to go ahead with their shows. They're seeking advice with the local authorities, the Tulloch Institute, which is their venue, and they're trying to go ahead with their shows. And the Scottish Wrestling Entertainment here in Dundee, they're trying to go ahead with their shows as well under the same advice as actually partially the same people that's going to check it out slightly, but going to rely on basically the same information in this local area. Yeah, this is. I don't really like the fact that this is going to be WrestleMania for this year. Many of the big sporting events that you can actually reschedule are getting pushed back to later in this year. A lot of the events are being announced already. We're moving it back to June, where Kevin Owens Inside the Ropes show here. Tour. He was supposed to tour with the Inside the Ropes. One of those spoken word tours that's been pushed back till June. I can't see honestly why WWE cannot do that. If anyone's got any comments, thoughts as we go along, and let's just type them in and I'll discuss them. I'll discuss them. Well, I'm sure we'll have our points for the next about 20 minutes. Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be. I don't honestly like this. I think it should have been put back for several months. It's not going to be the same. Like I said, it's going to look unique, but it's not really going to be the WrestleMania that we expect from WWE. It's going to be nowhere near that. I wouldn't mind it being pushed back because it's not, the atmosphere's not going to be there. I think looking at the footage, because I don't have the BT Sports that's WWE are now broadcasting on in the UK, because I just can't afford the extra money, but it looked very, very empty at the Performance Centre for SmackDown. It was basically an empty arena match or empty arena show, which was what it was. And that WrestleMania, the biggest pay per view, the granddaddy of them all, having no atmosphere whatsoever, regardless of getting into the fan stuff about travel and ticket prices and that. It's just not a WrestleMania. It's just going to be horrible. I mean, they've obviously made this decision. We're 3 weeks or so away. I'm checking my calendar. So we are basically right. Okay, so this is the 16th of March, going into Monday here in Scotland. So we've got the 23rd 1 week, 30th to so then basically 3 weeks. 3 weeks into SBGYT says, I hate this. We wanted a big pirate ship entrance and a big crowd with huge reactions. That won't happen. We won't get big pops, no big entrances, no cool stage. It won't feel the same. Exactly my point. It's not going to be the same. There was the meme going around, or the GIF, probably the meme, I think it was, and then probably was a GIF as well, but of people, saying, oh, somebody died on an event, but Vince McMahon still didn't cancel it, about Owen Hart. I kind of get this as the same feeling. This is kind of the same push from WWE to, right, we're having this hell or high water, which I can understand for like smaller, saying independent wrestling companies. They want to push on, they want to do their shows if, again, under advice. And I know that, again, the guys at the SW, FCW here in Scotland, they will seek the advice, they'll do what think. But I mean, WWE, they can afford, literally can afford to push things back. I mean, they're not going to, so as a Mad Hop 88 again, wrestling out fans makes no sense. We're seeing this in the weekly show. Stone Cold Ski came out tonight to no pop. Utter maddening. Yeah, I mean, again, with professional wrestling, you've got guys. What is part of the professional wrestling match? it's listening to the crowd, even though I know it's very difficult, I suppose, to do in a WrestleMania setup. You always hear about, especially like stadium shows, that you don't really hear the crowd, or that the crowd noise takes a little while to get to you. Um, and if somebody's an actual wrestler, they'll be able to tell you more about it. But listening to the crowd, basically, is what I'm saying. Listening to the crowd, that's part of putting your home, doing your whole match, is listening to the crowd, hear what their reaction is. Obviously, you've got stuff you want to do in the match. You've got stuff that right, we're doing this, this, and this to get to this. But again, it's going to be a lifeless WrestleMania. It's going to be again. I'm kind of struggling now, even though I said it would take half an hour. I'm struggling really to talk about this because it just doesn't make any sense. It's just I don't think it's something WWE should done. I think that WWE will continue to push with this. I know that I did see no fans. It's a terrible idea from Steve Owens. Yes, I again agree. I did see something a few days ago and haven't been able to chase it up. I did a quick look because family's been in and so forth. But I did see a report about the Tampa Bay local authorities. They were saying that they would be forcing WWE into a decision that sometime this week, Tampa Bay, due to restrictions on live crowds, crowd sizes, and here in Scotland, it's crowds over 500 are illegal for any event with a crowd over 500. I think it is illegal. The UK government can still override that. It's a kind of a two government system over here in Scotland, sadly, but the Tampa Bay authorities that I saw, according to the reports, were going to be forcing WWE into the decision, or depending on what the federal advice was, to potentially postpone or cancel this. They own the performance centre, so I think they could probably, especially they'll keep the key personnel, essential. What does that say? I think it says putting up the snip again. Uh, yeah, only essential personnel will be on the closed set in Orlando. So only like essential personnel will be in that on that at WrestleMania. Is it really count as a WrestleMania? I suppose it will in the grand scheme of things. But this is to be honest, a horrible idea. Obviously, this has just been announced. I think it'll last about half an hour odd now, half an hour, 40 minutes. Since I saw that the pro wrestling sheet post was already a few minutes old. What I saw, and I thought, okay, is that they've reported something that's really come out? Sometimes you get that. But again, checking WWE.com, I checked it, and they've made the statement that WrestleMania 36 is now at the Performance Center in Orlando. So that is, again, I'm starting to really kind of struggle what exactly to say about this, because it's just, in my opinion, a horrible decision. And I want to go into the fans bit a little bit. Obviously, a lot of fans have had their travel literally taken away from them. They're not. They're not going to. There are many people like places like Italy, Spain. I talked about in the previous live show. They're literally barred from travel. There is no flight, so they can't get there. There's no, obviously, no locals. I mean, there's just, I don't know what is going to be happening. What is happening? I don't know if anybody has the information about things like tickets, or what you're going to do if you got a WrestleMania ticket. Can you get a refund? I don't know, because obviously I don't have a ticket. But to Rod Stewart, not the one, obviously. Shout out to Azzy Jackson, please. Azzy Jackson. Yeah, this is a horrible situation. I will be reaching out. I think, well, might leave them to it. Like I said, the local wrestling promoters that I know, I probably will kind of let them deal with the situation, and see. Rod Stewart, no, I don't. I'm not even going to read that. No, if that is somebody I know, then I think I know what they're talking about. But no, I don't. No. It's a laughable situation, but anyway, no. There's the. Well, if you got a ticket to WrestleMania, I don't know what the procedures. I would imagine you'd be entitled to a refund. I don't know whether what the personal circumstances you're in. Obviously, this is going to hit the local economy very hard as well. Though these thousands of fans that come over to, well, would go over to Tampa, Florida, will not be there now. Um, I don't know exactly how. I presume they're going to have the crowd control in Orlando, but yeah, this is going to, this is just a very weird decision by WWE to move it to the Performance Center instead of just delaying it for. I mean, I kind of, we all know that right now, as we record this, well, it's like live this, even on the 16th of March, we don't know how long this is going to last. We don't know how long disruption will be. I talked about in the last video again, and just we don't know exactly the situation in terms of um, public areas where how long places like that are going to be shut, how long major arenas. A lot of the places in Scotland now, and literally today, just a few hours ago, have been told basically you've got to shut. Broadway's, as I said, Broadway's closed down. Pretty much, I think a lot of the West End shows in London have been shut down because of government guidelines. A lot of great big venues, it's the same as in America, where they're all being shut down. And I don't, I know, I understand. WWE have got a kind of a difficult decision to make. They don't know how long this is going to last. They're starting to get primed for WrestleMania. They're at part of the storylines where WrestleMania is uh, was the Rod Stewart coronavirus could okay, I'm hiding that one. But Rod Stewart, yeah, it can kiss your literally rear end. I don't want things to get too thing on this channel. I don't want to say, but yeah, coronavirus is it's getting to the point now where it's really disrupting. Um, you know, that obviously a made up name. Jamie Gaffney. Okay, Mr. McGroin. I'll get around it by that way. Mr. McGowan. Then again, I assume you're Mister. You could be Mrs. I've known plenty of people with that first name. But yeah, WrestleMania. This is obviously WWE style, pushing ahead with things regardless of whatever situations comes up. They're pushing ahead with this. They're saying, right, we're doing this. We're doing this. We don't care. And again, it's difficult. In terms of obviously, in terms of talent traveling as well. I don't know whether talent traveling I don't know whether talent traveling is going to be difficult either, because you know it depends on where I don't know where the talent pool roster of WWE is right now. I don't know. I can't without we presume that WWE, they've got their private jet. Will they be allowed to use the jet to go and collect everybody? Will they hold? I mean, I would assume WWE would have to hold their talent up into a hotel or somewhere local, because I'm pretty sure the performance center from the tour that or the which we've seen, I don't think they're allowed or it has the facilities to. I mean, you've got the crew there as well. They'll have to. I assume the WWE would have to move fast to kind of, or at least move in some direction. I don't know how quickly they're moving on things, but I would assume that WWE will have to bring in the talent beforehand, perhaps even a few days beforehand to Tampa, to Orlando. Even I keep saying yeah, to Orlando. Orlando. That's the you can see the light there. It's just me plumbing the snip tool again, so you can just look at it. Just they'll have to move the talent into Orlando. I presume a few days before the event, Uh, Shout out to Mackie from Rod Stewart. So if you know, um, um, and I know a guy called Mackie Elsham. Shout out to him as well if he's watching, which he probably won't. I think he was doing his own live thing, but I saw this and I thought, oh, I want to watch that, but oh, no, I want to do this this live. We'll discuss it. Yeah, so WWE, in terms of organisational, in terms of logistics for WWE, they're going to have to move their superstars to Orlando prior to it. I don't know exactly how they're going to do that. I don't know whether they can use that jet they've got and I don't know whether they could travel through the airspace. I don't know that. I know commercial flights are held, so could it be? And it's this is WWE they're talking about though. They always have a way around the problems. They always find solutions to these problems, and they always expect the talent to travel. Great example of that was the late Test and was it Tori Wilson, as I want to say. They were caught in a snowstorm. And they couldn't get through the mountain area where they were to the arena, and they were basically kind of told off for that. Oh, a lot of people, other people made it, but so WWE always expects their talents to make the shows. So I think WWE are going to have some serious logistics and to to have their talent to show. I think. Are you Tom's role? I work at Asda. I don't know whether to say yes or not. No to that one. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, I am. I think be a little bit loud. I think I want to get people complaining soon. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up in a couple of minutes. The logistics for WWE, they get around it. WWE always have a way to get around it. I don't know how, but they're going to have to. Again, I don't know what. I presume you could drive. Think about it. I presume the talent could drive themselves individually. Sean Kennedy, how long left in the stream yet? Well, I'm going to try and keep about maybe a minute, no, 7 or 8 minutes, because I've got to get to bed myself. I've got actual volunteer work. I've got to go in early and see about that and see what we are doing personally with this coronavirus. Um, but anyway, there is. I don't know what the rules are. I know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was out earlier on his bike. He was told by doctors that was okay. I don't know who's going to tell the Terminator what to do. It's like Vince McMahon again. The WWE will expect their guys to they'll do something that will make them drive. Even it's funny. Before I wrap this up, even BBC News reporters um, they were actually interviewing people, and it was one of those boom mic things. So they held them literally like that, and it was like 6 feet, and it was like two elderly ladies. They were talking about, oh, are you not scared to be out in the fresh air with this coronavirus because you're elderly, and basically accusing them of being infirm. And literally, you see the wide shot, and she's literally standing with the boom mic extended to about 5 foot, and was what's one return Sean Kennedy shout out to Kenny Meek. Um, that's from Mr. McGroin again. What's one return you think will happen at WrestleMania? I think Christian will come back and help Edge. And Rod, yeah, you know, I I can see Ed, I can see Christian maybe doing something. I think the Christian thing has never been explained properly, but what I think it was concussion related. Why Christian actually walked away from WWE in ring anyway. I know he was on the Royal Rumble panel show. He's done panel shows before. That's never been officially explained properly. He was on one of the podcasts. Was it Lillian Garcia's or somebody's? Skirted around the issue. I know he and Edge did a podcast for Royal. Always just ignored the question. If it was a Q&A, it was like, okay, Christian, what happened? Um, he would just ignore it. I could see Christian coming back. It'd make a good storyline if he did. and obviously he might be limited to what he can do, because there are several guys now that are legitimately limited to what they're allowed to do. So but I could see a Christian coming back to help his old buddy. I mean, literally. I mean, childhood friend, Edge and Christian. So that could easily happen. I think I don't know whether there's anybody really else. Again, I don't know whether this whole change or WWE going to have to kind of keep it to the people involved in the matches, because the last thing, let's be honest, the last thing that WWE will want to happen is for this now coronavirus to go strolling through the locker room. That would be even. That's one of the things about keeping, you know, um, the essential personnel. The last thing, and WWE keeping their shows going. I don't know what their house show, their live show schedule is right now. I know they've postponed a few, but the last thing WWE need is for suddenly this coronavirus to flood through their entire roster. So that's a danger for them as well, which I think will limit them to only very, very essential roster members on the show on WrestleMania 36. I really do think that they'll limit it. We may not. Again, we hopefully we'll see the matches pan out the way that they want to. And again, I don't know, maybe we would strip to the current match listings that we've got, because I think they're normally it's like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the Women's Battle Royal, I think, was put forward for this, which means WWE may have a lot of people in Orlando. They may have a lot of superstars in that area. And again, the last thing they want is for the virus to go streaming through their roster and put everybody out for potentially weeks. Because obviously, Idris Elba, I don't know if anybody knows that name, but he's the very famous English. Was it Adam Johnson? The people need an answer. Um, it's an answer to the question I've been asked. I've seen a source. Was it Chris Blakeman 24? I've seen a source online saying that Ric Flair has the virus. Well, to be honest, how can I put this politely? It's I do kind of wonder how many viruses that Rick's picked up over the years. I haven't seen anything about Ric Flair myself. I've seen, they said, Idris Elba, very popular African Englishman with African heritage. I don't know if I say it properly these days, but African English actor. He's have you ever picked up any viruses? No, I've got Norton on my laptop, so I don't have. No, no, you kind of. But you know what? I best not answer that because it'll put the cat amongst the local pigeons. As the worm turns. But no, again, the last thing WWE, because I want to wrap this up very quick, a couple of minutes. The last thing WWE said want is for this virus to go through their superstars, and that would shut them down completely. So I'm sure the one thing that WWE is hoping is that none of their superstars test positive, because Neil, can you, Mr. Groin again? Can you tell us how you would combat the virus if you caught it? Um, yeah, I better hide that comment. Yes. Well, I don't. To be honest, like I said in the live video, and I will. Like I'm gonna wrap this up in. I'm gonna wrap this up in a couple of minutes. Coronavirus. Luckily, I said it in the previous live video, and this is, I'm sure, the advice that WWE superstars, especially with wrestlers, I've not had the chance. I think it's basically the same advice for professional wrestlers. Just keep yourself hygiene standards up. Wash your hands, make sure you're clean. Wash yourself properly. And I'm sure I'm sure WWE will have to go through a strict. I imagine WWE would have to put their superstars through a strict regimen to do that. And if you get it, I think as long as you have kind of decent health, I think it is. You just kind of like getting the flu. You just and actually some of you was it Sean? I think it is. What who is it? Yeah, no, Rod. Yeah, Rod. Actually, my brother and my sister, well, one of my sister-in-laws, have got the flu right now, and it's basically the same advice. You know, does this? Says Chris Blakeman, 24. Does this put you off buying the alcoholic drink Corona? Well, to be honest, I don't drink alcohol. Just never have, never appealed to me. But actually, people are. People are actually literally avoiding um, this the Corona, buying the Corona drink because of this, which to a certain degree, I suppose, would give good publicity to the brand in one way. If I was to bring their PR department, I would jump all over it. But okay, I'm going to wrap this up in just a couple of minutes because literally, well, am I looking for there? It's about midnight. We'll keep going for a couple of minutes just till set midnight. Um, just quickly, if you had to pick four people to car share with on a long drive to America, who would you choose? Um, to be honest, I'm not really sure. Depends on what you mean with wrestling. Um, if it was wrestlers, to be honest, I would have to actually go away and think about that. But who exactly? Um, to be honest, I mean, I'd pick probably people. Maybe even if I could, still could like Roddy Piper. Be great because of the stories that I've been hearing about him. I've heard his story for about 8 years or something of his time he was in Scotland. Some of the stories he told. Just I don't know. I would have to pick a random people. If just again, living or dead, obviously. Um, I think it's that. So that power thing is very a bit awkward right here. Just was it Johnson, Celtic or Rangers, me man? Dundee United actually. You can tell by my ginger hair. Dundee United. Yeah, to my just uh, I don't know. I'm going to kind of stick out away from having to select either one of Celtic or Rangers. If I'm honest, I really don't know. I got Irish, a bit of Irish background, obviously the name. Um, uh, where are you doing charity work? Just a local charity shop. I don't know sure really whether I could really kind of go into that on YouTube. I right now I'm not sure what their rules are again about social media. Pat, uh, I had the pleasure of meeting Roddy Piper at a charity do once. He was surprisingly down to earth and very funny. Yeah, again, anybody who knows me knows I met Roddy a couple of times. Put in a wrestling ring very briefly. At the event he was over for. Not that I'm bragging on it, just I bored people. People bored of hearing kind of that story. Yeah, but this is going to be again. We only have had. I don't know if anybody can check because I'm live and I don't want to screw it up. I don't think we've heard. I mean, I suppose with the again, I'll wrap this up in a couple of minutes. It says on there, if I can find, why does this keep disappearing? Just the mouse arrow keeps disappearing on me, so I can't see where it is. It says, rest, coronation, blah, 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 all related events in Tampa will not take place at WrestleMania. So does that mean the Hall of Fame will not take place as well? That's something else. I'll end on this subject. I'll keep it going for a couple more minutes. I know I keep saying that, but I really do need to get some rest and get up early for that. But Hall of Fame, NXT, is that going to happen at the Performance Centre too? Are we going to see a whole weekend of these events? Are they going to take place? I know with the recent Hall of Fame announcements, people in the UK, people in the UK, let's be honest, are really, really excited about this year's WrestleMania. We have Drew McIntyre going for the WWE Championship against Brock Lesnar. major thing. Never a Scotsman in the main event of WrestleMania, potentially for Scottish/British WWE champion. Major thing. British Bulldog Davy Boy Smith going into the Hall of Fame. That was announced the other day. A lot of people very excited about that too. As I said, I think it was the audio only video I did. His legacy still looms very large in British wrestling. A lot of people still look up to him. He's still. I like I said in the audio one. I always rate William Regal above him, just because of the length of career that Regal has had, and he's much older. Obviously, Davy's not around anymore, but no, everybody in the UK is really excited about that. So does that mean for Hall of Fame? What does it mean for NXT Takeover? I was really kind of hoping to see like some Killian Dane take part in Takeover, and all these people. What is it going to mean for these events? I don't think it's clear yet. Again, looking at the snap, the announcement says, well, it says all related events will not take place. It only says WrestleMania will stream live. So what does that mean for the Hall of Fame? Well, is it going to happen this year? Is it not going to happen this year? I don't think that really anybody knows at this time. This is again, like I said in the last video about the coronavirus. This is a fluid, ongoing situation. Possibly do another live video tomorrow. I won't be back till slightly later in the evening. Depending on what happens, depending on what is going on with the charity work and the retail shop. But I'll wait and see. I might do another live one tomorrow quickly. This is going to be 40 minutes, a lot longer than I wanted to. So I might do another live stream tomorrow if we get more information on what is exactly happening about NXT Takeover, what's happening about the Hall of Fame, what is happening. They're good names, these. I think Pat. Might well give you a shout out, Pat McGroin. You're coming up with some good names, mate. Mike Oxmall. Yes, very good. Mike Oxmall. Yes, very good. So there's some actually really funny names. There's a few that, again, another a guy that I kind of used to know, a couple of guys who used to work in radio. Some of them, you obviously hear clips, and some of the names that slip by, get announced on national. It's really funny. But yeah, there may be an announcement by the time that I've done this live. This for about nearly 40 minutes. It's just after midnight here. On the now 17th of March, we may know more about NXT, what's happening with that, what's happening with the Hall of Fame, what's happening with any other related. The Raw after WrestleMania is always a major show. That always has like people moving up from the different rosters. It's new feuds happening, maybe people switching shows. That's always a unique thing because mostly and partly because of the fans, being in attendance. There's always been, especially in the last few years, all the chanting and the cheering and everything like that you get, and obviously the international fans will not be there. They're not going to be there. They're so this plug thing's just a little bit warm, and it's kind of on the thing. Anyway, it's not going to be like that at all. So we'll wait and see. I'm going to end in this second. So I'd say certainly before I switch off, because I might well wait till about 40 minutes. I will say, keep an eye on the social medias, keep an eye on WWE.com, all the related information to what's happening with NXT, what's happening with Hall of Fame, what's happening with Raws, what's happening with the WWE shows over the next few days. And I will make, I'm going to make one, and again, literally one final comment. There are some people on social media, and I'm not going to go at anybody at all. But there have been some people who have said about, like if you're especially a full-time independent wrestler, about there've been a couple of comments made by certain people, not say certain people, a few people I've seen, about independent wrestlers who wrestle full time, and obviously a lot of people, like a kind of a friend of mine, I would call him a friend, AJ Kurtz. You may have heard him. He was in Tough Enough. He did the Rock the promo thing. He was champion of that. He's the voiceover for WWE games, WWE 2K19 at least. I think he did a little bit in 2K20. But anyway, some guys like him who rely on that kind of that kind of wages, that kind of money, to earn, to for a living. I did see a couple of people make comments of, well, don't be plugging your merch or your online shop or whatever it is during this time where fans have got their own worries and that. I would say if you're legitimately, and I said on Twitter, I can't remember the exact phrases, but if you are in a position where you can, and I'm not saying forcing people, to do that, but try and support these guys, the full time wrestlers who have had bookings cancelled, who maybe can't are not earning. I mean, even a friend of mine, I said, well, I suppose you could call a friend. I'm not going to name names, but they put out that they were worried about money. They were worried about financial, and they work still as well. But they do. They're local, a great young independent wrestler. Well, they're on the independent scene here in Scotland. If you can support these the wrestlers, especially again the full time independent wrestlers, if you can support them by buying the merchandise, if you are in a position to do so, then please do so. And if you are actually an independent wrestler who, again, you're struggling financially, I personally don't mind people advertising their merchandise for sale online, trying to give that a plug. Just don't be a dick about it. Just don't try and guilt trip people into buying it. Don't try and force people that can't really afford it to give you all the money that they have. Just I know it's a difficult situation for everybody, and it's going to create disruption for a lot of people for the next few months. It seems we don't know. This is going to go into the summer, absolutely. So just if you are kind of one of those guys, or you even whether you wrestle or you sell your own merch or you're independent, whatever, just if you're advertising something for sale right now, don't be a dick about it. Don't be an idiot. I was going to use strong words, but I better not because I will make a strike on YouTube. Try and just again, I know everybody's struggling, going to be struggling financially. I don't know how it's going to work out with different jobs. I'm kind of lucky that I've got well, I'm unemployed, so I'm kind of I hopefully don't need to worry too much in that scale, because I should get my money on a regular basis. I'm looking for something right now. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get the help right now due to this, but I don't know, personal situation don't really need to go into. But if you are selling stuff right now, whether it be wrestling related or not, just don't be a dick about it, and try and again, just try and I want to say be grateful for any of the purchases that people can actually afford to make. So again, I'm going to end this because I'm a lot longer than I wanted to. But checking out, keep an eye on social media. Keep an eye out for details for about upcoming WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame, the NXT Takeover, and check your local media, your local professional wrestling, independent, your local. If I can even speak to try and sign off, if your local independent wrestling company is doing events, check them out as well. The local company SW made a couple of announcements. I don't know whether the shows are going to go ahead right now, but they're mouth-watering for me, exciting for me to for a few of the matches and events that are going to happen. I really want to go to them. Hopefully, they're a little bit off, so hopefully they might happen. But again, I never know how to sign off on these things, but keep checking things out for WWE, for all the local news. And again, sign off with this. Keep checking your local information in terms of the coronavirus. Just try and keep your own personal hygiene standards up. Again, washing and everything like that. That's the only, to be honest, that's the best you can do. That's the only basic thing you can do is try and keep your own personal hygiene up. Um, Try and minimize. Again, the latest information, the latest advice is to try and avoid places. Just try and do the best you can. Again, if you, especially if you've got underlying, ongoing, chronic, or lifelong health conditions, just try and do your best. But yeah, WrestleMania is moved to performance center. Um, I think this is it's. I will end with this. It's certainly going to be one of them if it goes ahead. Which, to be honest, as I said, WWE keep pushing it. WWE will do their own thing, come hell or high water. It's certainly going to be one of the most unique WrestleManias in history.